Welcome back to the Business Book Club. We're diving into The Willpower Instinct today
Oh, interesting.
by Kelly McGonigal.
Yeah.
She's a health psychologist and lecturer at Stanford University.
Okay.
And in this book, she really kind of digs into the science of willpower.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pulls from all this research in psychology, economics, neuroscience even.
Wow, that's quite a bit.
Yeah, it's really fascinating stuff.
It's fascinating how she takes this concept that we often, I think, think of as this very personal, almost mysterious thing, and
Right.
shows how it's actually, really rooted in biology and evolution.
Yeah, you wouldn't think of willpower as an instinct,
Right.
but she makes this really compelling case.
Absolutely. One of the things that really stood out to me was the story of Phineas Gage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember him?
I vaguely remember hearing about that.
He was a railroad worker who had this really terrible accident where an iron rod went through his skull,
Oh, wow.
damaged his prefrontal cortex.
I mean, that's intense.
It was pretty dramatic.
Yeah.
And what's significant is that after the accident, while Gage survived,
Oh, wow.
his personality completely changed.
Really?
Yeah, he became impulsive, unreliable, unable to stick to plans.
So almost like a completely different person.
Yeah, basically. And this really highlighted how crucial the prefrontal cortex is
Okay.
in self-control.
I mean, that's a pretty extreme example.
Right.
But for the rest of us who haven't, had an iron rod through our skull,
Yeah.
what does this mean for our, everyday struggles with willpower?
Well, it really shows that willpower isn't just some vague mental faculty,
Yeah.
It has a real biological basis.
Mm-hmm.
And just like any other biological system, it has its limits.
Right.
And that's where McGonigal's analogy of willpower as a muscle comes in.
Yeah, I've heard this analogy before.
Yeah.
Can you refresh my memory on how it works?
Sure. So just like a muscle gets tired after a strenuous workout, our willpower can become depleted if we overuse it.
Right.
Think about those days when you've had to make a lot of decisions or resist a lot of temptations.
Oh, yeah.
By the end of the day, your willpower muscle is exhausted.
Yeah.
And you're more likely to give in to that extra slice of cake or skip your workout.
It definitely resonates with me.
Yeah.
So just as we need to train our physical muscles,
Yeah.
we need to train our willpower muscles too.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that means understanding how to manage our willpower energy effectively.
Okay.
McGonigal suggests scheduling our most challenging tasks for the times of day when our willpower is naturally higher.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
For me, it's usually first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
But I have friends who swear they're most productive late at night.
Right.
So I guess it's really about finding what works best for you, right?
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
And just as important as knowing when to exert willpower
Yeah.
is knowing when to rest and recharge.
Okay.
Taking breaks throughout the day is crucial to prevent willpower depletion.
So rather than trying to power through nonstop,
Yeah.
it's actually more strategic to incorporate those breaks and allow willpower to kind of recover.
Exactly.
Okay.
And she also talks about something pretty surprising, the role of blood sugar.
Okay, now this, I got to hear.
Yeah.
Does this tie into the whole, hangry phenomenon?
Yes.
Because I know when my blood sugar drops,
Uh-huh.
my willpower goes right out the window.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
Research has shown that low blood sugar
Okay.
directly impacts willpower.
Interesting.
And here's the interesting part.
Okay.
Consuming a small amount of sugar can actually help replenish willpower in the short term.
So you're telling me that, having a piece of candy could boost my willpower?
Yeah.
This sounds almost too good to be true.
It's not about, relying on sugar highs all the time. Of course,
Yeah.
that wouldn't be healthy.
Right, of course. Of course.
But it's about understanding how our biology influences our self-control. If you're feeling your willpower fading, a small, healthy snack might be just what you need to get back on track.
This is fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
So we've got willpower as an instinct, willpower as a muscle, and this surprising connection to blood sugar.
Mm-hmm.
What else does she dive into?
Well, she takes us deep into the brain's reward system,
Okay.
exploring how the neurotransmitter dopamine
Okay.
drives our desire for instant gratification.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is where things get particularly relevant for
Right.
entrepreneurs,
Right.
especially in today's world.
Okay, let's talk about dopamine.
Right.
I always hear it referred to as the pleasure chemical.
That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
Dopamine is released in our brains when we experience something pleasurable, whether it's eating a delicious meal, achieving a goal,
Yeah.
or even just getting a social media notification.
Right.
And here's the problem.
Okay.
Modern technology and marketing tactics have become incredibly adept
Okay.
at exploiting our dopamine system.
I can see that.
Yeah.
You know, we're constantly bombarded with notifications,
Right.
ads, tempting offers, all designed to trigger that dopamine rush.
Exactly.
Yeah, it can feel like a real uphill battle to
Yeah.
stay focused.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Think about how social media is designed, right? The endless scroll, the likes and comments,
Right.
the constant stream of new content.
Yeah.
It's all engineered to keep us hooked and coming back for more,
Right.
even if it's not actually serving us.
So how can we as entrepreneurs combat this?
Right.
I mean, we can't exactly disconnect from technology entirely.
Right. We can't just unplug from the modern world.
Right.
But we can become more aware
Yeah.
of how our brains are being manipulated
Okay.
and take steps to manage our dopamine intake, so to speak.
Oh, yeah.
One strategy McGonigal suggests is dopaminizing our goals.
Dopaminizing our goals. Now that sounds intriguing.
Yeah.
How does that work?
It's about finding ways to link our goals to pleasurable activities or rewards.
Okay.
If we can make the process of working towards our goals enjoyable,
Mm-hmm.
we're more likely to stick with it. Instead of just focusing on the long, hard slog,
Yeah.
we need to find ways to inject a little dopamine along the way.
Okay, so if I'm working on like a challenging project,
Yeah.
maybe I could put on my favorite playlist
Uh-huh.
to make it more enjoyable.
Exactly.
Or reward myself with a small break or a treat
Yeah.
after completing a difficult task.
Exactly. You're essentially hacking your own brain's reward system
Right.
to make it easier to stay motivated.
Okay.
And McGonigal offers another powerful strategy
Right.
that I think is particularly relevant for entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Pre-commitment. Pre-commitment is a fascinating concept.
Okay.
It's essentially about making decisions now that will benefit your future self, even when that future self might be tempted to stray from the plan.
So it's like outsmarting our future impulsive selves.
Yeah, exactly.
So how does this play out in real life?
Right.
I think McGonigal uses a pretty dramatic historical example, right?
She did. She talks about Hernán Cortés, the conquistador who landed in Mexico and burned his ships to prevent his men from retreating.
That's commitment.
Yeah, talk about commitment.
But I'm guessing she's not suggesting that entrepreneurs literally set fire to their possessions.
Not quite.
Oh,
But the principle is the same. It's about removing the option to back out.
Okay.
For entrepreneurs, this could mean setting up automatic transfers to a savings account to avoid overspending or publicly announcing a product launch date
Right.
to create external accountability.
So by making it harder to back out,
Yeah,
we're essentially forcing our future selves to stick to the plan,
exactly.
even when faced with temptation.
Exactly. It's a clever way to leverage our present willpower
Okay.
to overcome future weakness.
Right.
And speaking of willpower,
Yeah.
one of the most intriguing aspects McGonigal explores is this idea that it can be contagious.
Contagious willpower.
Mm.
That sounds almost mystical.
Yeah.
How can someone else's self-control rub off on me?
It's not magic, but it does tap into our social nature.
Okay.
We're wired to mirror each other's behavior.
Yeah.
It's how we learn and bond.
Right.
And it turns out that this mimicry extends to goals and habits as well.
Interesting.
McGonigal calls this goal contagion.
Okay. So if I surround myself with people who are disciplined and driven,
Yeah,
their willpower can actually influence my own behavior.
that's right. Think about how much easier it is to stick to a workout routine
Yeah.
when you have a gym buddy.
Right.
Or how being part of a supportive team can help you stay motivated on a challenging project.
That makes sense. It's like having this built-in support system
Right.
to keep you on track.
Exactly.
But I imagine the opposite is true as well.
Absolutely.
If you're surrounded by people who are constantly giving in to temptation,
Yeah.
it would make it harder for you to resist.
Absolutely. Our social environment has a powerful impact on our self-control.
Right.
So it's crucial to be mindful of who we surround ourselves with
Right.
and to actively cultivate a network that supports our goals.
This makes me think about the power of community, especially for entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
It's not just about emotional support,
Right.
but it's about creating an environment that fosters willpower
Yeah.
and resilience.
Exactly. And McGonigal also highlights the concept of social proof,
Oh, yeah.
which plays a significant role in influencing our behavior.
I've definitely heard of social proof,
Yeah.
especially in the context of marketing. It's the idea that we're more likely to do something
Right.
if we see other people doing it, right?
That's it. We look to others for cues on what's normal and acceptable behavior. And this principle can be harnessed to boost willpower.
Okay, do you have an example of how this works?
Sure. There was a study where researchers tried to encourage people to conserve energy. Some people received messages about saving money or protecting the environment, while others received a message saying that 99% of people in their community reported turning off unnecessary lights to save energy.
So they used social proof
Exactly.
to nudge people toward more energy-efficient behavior?
Exactly. And guess what? The social proof message was the most effective.
Interesting.
It shows how powerful it can be to see that others are successfully engaging in the desired behavior.
Right.
It normalizes it and makes it seem more achievable.
That's really interesting. I wonder if this could be applied to other willpower challenges.
Yeah.
Like if I'm struggling to stick to a writing schedule, maybe I could remind myself that countless other writers have successfully established daily writing routines.
That's a great example. By tacking into social proof, you're essentially leveraging the collective willpower of others to strengthen your own.
This is making me rethink this whole idea of willpower. It's not just an individual struggle.
Right.
It's something that's deeply influenced by our social connections and environment.
Exactly.
So building a supportive network is crucial, not just for emotional support, but for actual willpower strength.
I completely agree. Our social world can either bolster or undermine our self-control.
Okay, so we've covered how willpower can be contagious and the role of social proof.
Yes.
What else does McGonigal explore in this fascinating world of willpower?
Well, she also delves into the limitations of I won't power.
Okay.
And how sometimes our attempts to suppress thoughts and cravings can actually backfire.
Now this I got to hear more about.
Yeah.
Because honestly, when I think of willpower, I immediately think of saying no to temptation. So what's wrong with like, I won't power?
It's not that I won't power is inherently wrong.
Oh, okay.
But McGonigal argues that relying solely on suppression can be counterproductive.
Right.
Especially in the long run.
Okay.
She introduces this concept through what's known as the white bear problem.
Okay, a white bear. This sounds intriguing, if a bit random.
Right.
What's the deal with white bears?
It's a classic psychology experiment where people are instructed not to think about a white bear.
Okay.
And guess what happens?
I have a feeling it doesn't involve successfully avoiding thoughts of white bears.
Exactly. The more you try to suppress a thought, the more it persists.
Really?
It's called ironic rebound.
Okay.
And this applies to all sorts of thoughts, emotions, and cravings.
So if I'm constantly telling myself, like, don't eat that cookie.
Right.
Or don't check social media. I might actually be making those temptations stronger.
You hit the nail on the head. It's like a mental tug of war.
Oh, wow.
The more you push against a thought, the harder it pulls back.
This is fascinating.
Yeah.
And a bit unsettling. But why does this happen?
Right.
Is there, like, something about how our brains are wired that makes suppression backfire?
McGonigal explains that there are two systems at play in our brains.
Okay.
The operator and the monitor. The operator is the part of us that tries to distract ourselves from the forbidding thought, while the monitor is constantly scanning for any sign of that thought popping up.
So it's like having a mental sensor that's always on high alert.
Right.
Looking for any sign of the thought we're trying to suppress.
Precisely.
Okay.
And here's the catch.
Okay.
The operator requires effort and energy, while the monitor runs automatically in the background.
So when our willpower is depleted, the operator gets tired, but the monitor keeps on chugging along.
Exactly.
Which means that, like, those forbidden thoughts become even more intrusive when we're tired or stressed.
Exactly.
Okay, so what can we do?
So McGonigal suggests that instead of trying to suppress thoughts and cravings, we should practice acceptance.
Acceptance. Does that mean, like, I should just give in to every temptation that pops up?
Not quite. It's more about acknowledging the thought or craving without judgment and allowing it to pass without giving into it.
So instead of fighting the wave, I should learn to ride it out.
That's a great analogy. McGonigal refers to this as surfing the urge.
Okay.
It's about noticing the craving, observing its sensations in the body, and recognizing that it will eventually subside.
That makes a lot of sense. I've definitely noticed that when I try to ignore a craving.
Yeah.
It just intensifies.
Right.
But if I allow myself to kind of, like, feel it,
Uh-huh.
it often loses its power over me.
Exactly. It's like taking the wind out of temptation's sails.
I like that.
And this technique can be applied to breaking bad habits as well.
Okay.
For example, there was a study where smokers were taught to surf the urge
Okay.
whenever they felt a craving for a cigarette.
I'm curious, how did they do that?
But they were instructed to simply observe the sensations of the craving in their body
Mm-hmm.
without judgment.
Yeah.
And to ride it out like a wave.
And it worked.
It did. The smokers who used this technique ended up smoking significantly fewer cigarettes.
Wow, that's incredible. Than those who didn't.
That's remarkable. So by practicing acceptance and mindfulness,
Yeah.
we can actually weaken the grip that cravings have over us.
That's right. It's about shifting from a mindset of resistance
Okay.
to a mindset of awareness and allowing.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation.
You'd have.
We've learned so much from the willpower instinct.
Oh, yeah.
From understanding willpower as a biological instinct and the importance of managing our willpower energy
Right.
to navigating the dopamine trap and harnessing the power of pre-commitment and social contagion.
Absolutely.
And now we've uncovered the limits of I won't power
Yeah.
and the potential of acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
Any final takeaways you'd like to leave our listeners with?
I think the key takeaway is that willpower is not about brute force
Okay.
or white-knuckling your way to your goals.
Right.
It's about understanding how your brain and body work
Mm-hmm.
and working with them, not against them.
Okay.
It's about building healthy habits.
Right. Creating supportive environments and finding sustainable ways to manage temptation.
That's a good point.
And it's about being kind to yourself when you stumble, because we all do.
That's such a great point.
Yeah.
We're all human. Willpower is a journey, not a destination.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your insights on the willpower instinct.
My pleasure.
I think we've all gained some really valuable tools today to help us strengthen our willpower muscles and achieve our goals.
It is great being here.
And to our listeners, don't forget to subscribe to the Business Book Club for more deep dives into insightful books that can help you grow your business and yourselves.
Yes.
Until next time. Now, that's a wrap for this episode of the Business Book Club. If you enjoyed the ride, make sure to subscribe so you'll never miss our next deep dive. Got a favorite business book you'd love us to explore? Let us know. We're always up for a good read. And hey, don't keep all these insights to yourself. Share this episode with a fellow book lover or your work buddy who's always looking to level up. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next episode.